Welcome to the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society. Welcome to ITSP Magazine Podcast Radio. You're about to listen to an episode of Through the TechVine. So be quiet, pay attention, and get inspired. There is one truth that is not told enough. Technology is not magic, but it can be magical. Technology is human. It is part of who we are, our evolution, our future. Will it be a dystopian or utopian one? Well, that is up to us and nobody else. Knowledge is power, now more than ever. Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net.
John.
It's Foamsy here.
One.
Foamsy.
Happy days?
It's pronounced like Fonzie. Sure, why not?
He's the Fonzie's cousin.
Did either of you guys see that thing? They're doing this live before a studio audience on ABC, where they go back to the 80s and they get, or 70s even, you get old sitcoms and have stars from today reading them through. So they on Tuesday they did Facts of Life with Jennifer Aniston was Blair and Catherine Hahn was Joe and Jon Stewart from The Daily Show. Previously to The Daily Show. He was one of the characters. Yeah.
They played a character? That's cool. No, I haven't seen it. I definitely should.
They do it live. They do it live. Well, it's funny how bad some of these old sitcoms really were. Just the dialogue. I mean, it's hilarious to watch these, major stars kind of, walk through, but yet deliver these lines. But some of them, it's just true. Because I gotta admit, I used to watch The Facts of Life when I was younger, and it was not highbrow. Let me put it that way.
So what? I'm just picturing. I haven't seen it, but so reading lines. I've seen other things where actresses are reading the lines, but so you're missing the set, you're missing the canned laughter, I presume. You're missing perhaps some other audible things in the background. Does it make it weird? Do you really focus on the lines then, the words?
No, this is actually live before a studio audience. So there's a studio audience there. They've recreated the sets.
Oh, they recreated
and
sets.
They dress everybody up in the outfits that people. I mean, the wigs are ridiculous because there were two. This episode was about a dance, so there were two boys from the boys' school, and it was Will Arnett and Jason Bateman in the most ridiculous wigs you've ever seen.
Oh, and those two are funny.
Yeah, it's funny. It's really good. And then they had a different Strokes episode, and one of they had Kevin Hart playing the little kid at Gary Coleman's role, and there was a friend who was visiting them.
Willis.
Yes, Kevin Hart did. Kevin Hart said, "What you talking about, Willis?" And Snoop Dogg was their friend. So Snoop Dogg came and visited. John Lithgow was their dad. It was.
It sounds like Saturday Night Live's Kids on Steroid. I gotta watch this. Sounds really, really funny.
Live before a studio audience, and I didn't see it, and I couldn't find a way to stream it. But apparently, they did an All in the Family episode where Woody Harrelson was Archie Bunker, which I would love to see.
Oh God, yeah.
When you mentioned that, I was like, would they bring something like that back? Yeah.
But you say they go to the 70s too, so we have hope for other show from the 70s because they would be even more fun. All right.
Yeah. So let's see. So Jimmy Kimmel does it, and the fun thing on Tuesday was that he had Norman Lear, who's 99 years old, and apparently Jimmy Kimmel had sworn in the run up, and Norman Lear didn't know there was a difference between when Jimmy Kimmel had said the F word, and so Norman Lear, 99 years old, on live TV on ABC said a word that the FTC would violate. Luckily, I guess he was on a 2-second delay, so they bleeped him. But it was kind of like, you go, Norman. Like, you just be you at 99.
Very cool. Well, society changed. So what it was funny back then, or it's social phenomenon at the time and cultural phenomenon now it's not. And
It's true.
it's hard to pinpoint. I think we go back to when we were talking about movies or any news that you need to contextualize into the time period that happened. You can't judge it with the eyes of today.
Yeah.
That's the key. But making a fun
Yeah.
spin on it, that's kind of cool. I like that. And that's how Fomsy come to be.
And they created Fomsy for this.
A rerun, yes.
We can literally talk about a made-up word for hours. That's scary, and maybe that's why we're able to do this. I love it.
The question is Sean going to jump a shark for us?
I hope not.
On the motorcycle?
No, I think he was on water skis when Fomsy on Happy Days jumped the shark.
He did jumps like barrels on cars, or maybe that was
where that phrase came from.
Pinky to Scudero.
Jump the shark. Was
Yeah,
that
that's from
Fonzie's life career.
That episode was when people defined the Happy Days going from being a good show to a bad show. Was when Fonzie or Fomsy, water skied over the shark.
There you go.
And if I remember well,
where that phrase
he was wearing the leather jacket and jeans,
You
or at
are
least the leather jacket. I don't know if it had bathing suit or not.
I think he had shorts on. If I'm not mistaken.
Shorts and leather jacket, because you never see the Fonz without the leather.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think it was the leather jacket and cut off denim shorts.
So okay, I have a fun question before we move to tech stuff. So, your favorite show growing up? Go for it.
So I actually was a kind of a fan. I'm ashamed to say it, but I did like Facts of Life. But one of my absolute favorite shows was Bosom Buddies, which was Tom Hanks' first. Yeah.
Okay.
Now
I grew
it's
up in
kind of
Italy, so you're gonna have to explain me that. I'm not familiar.
okay. So you probably couldn't get away with doing this show now, but it was a typical half-hour sitcom, and Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari played two advertising writers. Like one wrote copy and one did the visuals or whatever. And they couldn't find, as the setup goes, they couldn't find a place that they could afford in New York except at an all women's hotel. So they became their alter egos, Buffy and Hildegard, and moved into the hotel and were in drag playing Buffy and Hildegard when they were at the hotel. And then when they were at work, they were back to being Kip and Henry. And Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari just had this incredible chemistry. I thought they were really funny together, and I liked that show.
Wait a minute. Wasn't Tom Hanks' first TV show that he was playing about the same thing and another friend that they were
It was Bosom Buddies.
Was
it was that
one?
show. It was that show, yeah.
It wasn't Tom Hanks with it?
It was Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari.
Oh, you say Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't catch the Tom Hanks. Wow.
So I liked that one. I know it wouldn't be politically correct to do that now, but I enjoyed it in the 80s.
Well, Robin Williams did an entire movie with that, Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's true. He was Mrs. Doubtfire.
It was really funny. So
what about Fomsy? What was your favorite TV show as a kid?
The Fonz.
Nah, really?
Don't steal it from me.
Boy, I don't know that I really watched much telly. I always had a spot for Saturday Night Live. Marco mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Second City TV. I like the comedy.
Yay!
Like stuff. SCTV was cool. I listened to a lot of radio shows. I know you didn't ask about radio shows, but Dr. Mento was up there with that on KMET. I don't know. I think that was syndicated nationally in the US, but
yep. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that kind of comedy.
So let me understand this. So when you were, let's say in the 80s, you did listen to radio show instead of watching TV. That makes you pretty unique, because Back then, everybody was stuck in front of the TV the whole
Sean.
time.
Yeah. Well,
Just
two things:
look at
Breakfast with
Sean.
the Beatles and Dr. DeMille. Granted, neither were intellectually growing, stimulating, but they did occupy me and keep me interested. Not in front of a TV.
Very cool. So cool. Yeah. Well, mine, it really was Happy Days. So make it easy.
Wow.
That was an inspiration to see the Fonzie there. I don't know. I really like it because I had this idea of the 50s in the US, right? The the American graffiti, the period of time where everybody was happy, and Happy Days was this assumption that really, the average, middle class family, 2 cars in each garage, and and the happy family and everything like that. The college, the drive-through. I don't know. It was some kind of so kind of like a feel good type of show. So I really like that, and yeah, I'm not afraid of admit that.
Yeah, hey, I mean,
should be.
Yeah. Still nowadays, if I see a jukebox, I try to hit it with a punch and see if it plays.
has it ever
Hard to
worked?
find those. It's hard to find those.
You
There was
know,
some there was one in Redondo. You remember Redondo Beach, or most, I guess, was kind of right at the border there.
yeah, and you remember, Sean, when we go at the RSA conference and we have the tradition to play pinball at the
The vintage pinball
the
machine.
ocean front. Yeah, all the way up to the
Nice.
pier. Yeah, so I think there is a jukebox there too. There's all these arcade of all games. So really cool. Talking about technology.
Right? Robotic
Talking
arms
tech.
moving plastic discs around.
Yeah, automatrons or whatever they call it at the time. Very cool.
Animatronic, yeah.
Yeah, robots
And
that.
then the remote controlled ones where you had the little station at the table you're sitting at. You can control the master jukebox unit
with the cable.
from your table.
Oh, I've seen the
Remember?
little jukeboxes at your table, but I haven't seen where you could control like the big one from your table.
Well, I think those set the big one. I think it queues up. I'm pretty sure the table one queues up the main,
The main one. Okay, all right.
high tech.
Talking about high
If it is
tech.
a DJ at the 50s diner.
I mean, it was pretty high tech, right? To be able to take a record out of a slot automatically, put it down, play it. I mean, that's at some point that was
And not
very
scratch.
cutting edge. Not scratch it, exactly.
It's again, you could put it in the right context, and the technology of the time was really cool. And now it seems like it's not. So sometimes I wonder, 25, 50 years from now, they're probably gonna look back at all this cool stuff that we have now and be like, yeah. What's that? Computers? It's in our brain now. You can't. You actually carrying that stuff around?
There you go. Well, you're gonna remember my tech. Remember this when we get to my tech, which we're not gonna break tradition.
Okay.
We're gonna let Diana go, but this will play heavily in the stuff I talk about.
Sounds
All right.
All right.
Let's get started. So I'm gonna make a guess. It's about paws and icicles.
That's a really good guess.
Smart slippers for dogs.
Oh, I like that. No, but it is about if a pod does get too icy. So this is technology that I think's been around for a little bit, a while. But I just read about it because there were predictions about how big this market was going to be. And I was looking at some of the predictions that are coming out for how large it'll be. And I realized I had no idea it was even a technology that was available, which is telehealth for your pets. So Tele-Veterinarians. So just like you can go to your doctor over the through your computer. Now they actually have a number of different offerings. I was surprised looking through it, but there are a lot of different options for telehealth or televets. So if you have, you guys,
does a dog have to do two paws authentication to get into the app?
I think they have to do 2NA because I think it's their nose leather that is as unique as a fingerprint. So I think it's 2NA for them. Yeah. But yeah, so obviously you can't diagnose a dog fully. You can't do a blood draw or anything like that. But what they do is they give you, just like with telehealth, they have 24/7 access to veterinarians. Have you guys, do either of you have a cat? You've been cat owners? So you know how difficult it is with most cats to get them to the vet. So this is a way to short circuit some of the questions you might have. Sure, you could call your vet, but they may not be available. And I don't know if you guys are like me and Ed, but it seems like our dogs and cats always have something weird. Like one of them starts coughing oddly or happens to throw up in a way that's not expected. And I mean, what's expected? If you have cats, they have hairballs, like that. So that's expected. But if your dog hasn't thrown up in years and suddenly they're vomiting for no reason, and that always seems to happen to us like Saturday night or Sunday morning. So the next thing is that we're in the car running off to the emergency vet, paying a pretty high fee because it's the emergency vet because we don't want to risk waiting until Monday when our vet is available again. So this is 24/7. You can call on the weekend for a pretty low price, talk to a vet, and they can kind of talk you through if it's something like if they've got pom-pom paws from icicles that have attached and you're worried they might have frostbite on their paws, or if they're throwing up unusually, the vet can take a look at the dog or the cat through the camera and give you an idea and be a little bit better than what a lot of us do, which is just go to DuckDuckGo or Google and try and figure it out all on our own. So yeah, so I was excited.
Let me ask you this, and I totally see the utility of it as much as I see telehealth useful for humans, because let's face it, if there is something that we learned during this pandemic where we were avoiding to go to the doctor because you didn't want to get to the doctor's office, and you're like, maybe I'll just do a televisit. And you realize that most of the time there is no need really to go to a doctor, like a routine check, a conversation. Yeah, maybe you go to then do a blood test, a blood draw or something because the doctor thinks it's important to do that. But honestly, sometimes unless you get something broken and you get really something going on, the doctor is just the filters to what do I do next, right? But I'm waiting for the day that some of the wearables that we have can actually help the telemedicine to actually get data from your body, like your watch, your Fitbits or whatever it is, so that you can measure your blood pressure or other things that could be used during this visit. And I don't know if there is already something that can be used or not, but I'm wondering if for the dog is the same thing.
No, I think that I don't know for the dogs, because I think most of the wearables for dogs are about GPS. So you can geofence your dog and make sure they haven't gone too far away from the house. But I have seen options with the health wristbands where you can tie them into sending it to one of your medical capture places and then be able to share that. So I don't know if all telehealth, if you can connect it, but I think that there are options right now to connect to whatever you're doing for your health monitoring, connecting it to some of the systems.
Do you think there will be an option for a robotics that you keep in your home and you just connect with the doctor and you just can analyze some basic data in your home? And why not? I think
what's the robot do? What's the robot?
Not a robot necessarily that moves, but like a machine that you can put your hands maybe in there, put your pressure, maybe your heartbeat, maybe you breathe inside something, you see if your breathing is normal or regular or irregular. And at that point, I'm wondering, do you even need a doctor? Because the machine is probably going to tell you already if you may have
what
something.
you're talking about is all the data that helps them make a decision on which
Exactly.
which
Yeah, I see.
diagnosis and treatment, right?
Yeah. So instead of, breathe on the stethoscope, you just breathe in a freaking machine. Or, why do I want to come there? I want to see you.
Yeah, and I guess have it all in one so that you could put your arm into some blood pressure cuff basically, and while it's in there, your finger could give the heart rate and oxygenation. Yeah.
Or stick your head in a bag and the pressure checks run around your neck. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a faulty design. I don't know.
Yeah, a head in the bag. I don't know. It sounds a little bit of a Don Corleone thing to do. Something like that. Maybe in a helmet. That's what you meant, right?
Exactly.
So I also wanted to add that I saw some technology or use of technology in a super weird way for animals, to stick with animals, which is that there's apparently an issue with disqualification of camels from a camel beauty contest because people...
Come on.
First of all, a camel beauty contest. Then we can talk about the problem.
I'm not kidding. Because Botox was used to make their faces look more beautiful.
Holy cow. Okay.
So you can't get a telehealth Botox injection, but maybe you could make an appointment on telehealth for your camel's Botox.
Is that considered a drug enhancement for the performance?
I think so. I think it was considered, again, enhancements.
Covered by insurance.
Incredible. Well, different tradition. Nothing is wrong. All is cool.
No.
No camels were hurt in the making of that contest.
No, they look prettier, actually. That's the point.
Can they consent to Botox, though, is the question. I mean, maybe that camel really liked its very, very expressive face and didn't want to have a more static, though perhaps considered more traditionally beautiful face.
To age naturally, exactly.
That's right.
It's I think it's animal abuse, but I'm not gonna go there. Have you ever seen the movie, Diana? I'm sure you did. First in Show, I think was the name of it.
Best in Show, yeah. Christopher Guest.
Yeah, I remember I saw it once. I thought it was hilarious because I, liking dogs and how the dogs are so similar to the owners, and all the things that they were going through doing that. It was pretty funny. But again, is that a little bit of animal abuse, or you think the dogs really enjoy that? It's kind of like, oh, we have a job to do.
So I don't think necessarily being in those shows is abuse, depending on if the dog really likes it. I mean, it was kind of clear in that was, I think, one of the points they were trying to make was that Parker Posey was so wound up that her Weimaraner got wound up and wasn't happy. And that's why the dog, I think it acted out by biting in the movie. But I think some dogs might like it. That dogs really like being with their owners. And if the owner's saying, hey, we're going to walk around a ring, where I think that the abuse or concern might come in is with the closed stud books and breeding of dogs in general. Because there have been some breeds, because they got very it got pretty close pretty quickly in the generations. So some diseases are now being passed around in some breeds because they can't get hybrid vigor by bringing in different DNA from dogs outside of this one bloodline. So I think that's where with the AK, and I think the AKC is starting to address this and looking at maybe being a bit more flexible, because when they closed the stud books years and years ago, I don't think people understood how quickly it was going to close out. And actually you get like interbreeding and things going on. Some not reputable breeders will breed, mothers and sons. And so that's why I think the concern is just making sure that we're helping dogs to be as healthy as possible. If people are breeding them. I mean, we always have. We have accident dogs in our house. They're mutts.
Yeah, all our dogs are. So it's funny because when I go to the vet, they're like, "What breed is this?" Like, I don't know. This is a long dog. this looks like a coyote, but it's not, and the other one it just barks all the time. But that's not a breed. Yeah, it is. That's how I define them.
Purebred
Interesting you
barker.
mentioned that. This year's dog show, National Dog Show, introduced a new official breed,
Ooh.
the Boer. I'm pronouncing, I'm sure, Boer Terrier, Biewer. So clearly, a mix of breeds together enough times consistently to create a new breed. I have no idea how that works, but I don't know if there's any technology used to say these are the genes we want, because they breed them for size and stature and what type of working dog or other type of dog they are, and colors and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know if it's all by chance or if they're pulling DNA samples. Maybe somebody knows who's listening. It's an interesting thing, right? To create a new breed
Yeah.
and have it. I don't know who
Well,
they are.
that's what they've been
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
constantly by crossing breeds. Like, that's how they create a bull terrier to fight the bull, or the one to catch the mouse. And I mean, they've been doing that for centuries. Now you're probably at the level where it's not just breeding different breed of dog and get to the next one, like Diana was saying, but actually do DNA modification and say, oh, what color of fur you want on your dog and how tall you want it to be. And that's not cool, in my opinion, but that's just me. Hey,
Yeah, my dog is a
Fonzie.
Havanese. My dog was a Havanese, and it was, I'll say, created or bred by Cubans mixing a Bichon and a Havanese or a Maltese. Sorry.
What was the goal for that? Because some is aesthetic and
I
some
don't know
they
what the
actually
goal.
has a
I think it was
function.
something soft to pet on your lap.
Oh, it's like a toy
Met the
breed.
objective from my perspective. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it's a toy breed. Yeah,
Yeah,
technically
which
a
has
terrier.
a lot of functionality too.
Oh yeah.
Very important. Yeah. All right. Fonzie, what's going on?
I want to talk about telehealth for horses.
Okay.
Okay.
Did it just died 2 days ago? The one that
What?
won.
It had a heart attack. Yeah.
The one that worked. It was the
it
Kentucky Derby,
Yeah.
and actually was
doping.
he was got for drug use, but it
Mhm.
wasn't that. It wasn't the horse asking for it, of course.
Oh wait, it was Medina Spirit, I think. Wait, was Medina drugged up too, or are you just joking about that? I thought
No. I don't know. I didn't really read the whole article. It's just one of those things that you just look
Are you
at.
spreading misinformation, Marco?
I thought that he
smirching.
I thought that he was the winner of one of these big derby, but also was flagged as maybe using enhancement drugs, and then now during a training, 3 years old, he dies. I don't know if I'm mixing things, but
No, you're spot on, Marco. Yeah, the Medina Spirit won the Kentucky Derby but failed the drug test afterwards, and that is the same horse that just had the heart attack. So
and
wow,
all of
I wonder
this
if they're
from an
connected.
headline. I just wrote the headline and look how much information I got out of it.
That's right. Wow, I hope that horse didn't. Poor horse.
Is that Diana? I know.
Well, I hope that the horse didn't die a heart attack because they were dosing it or whatever. Like, just feel bad for the horse.
Yeah. Run faster. Just you don't know when to stop.
Well, they push those animals pretty hard.
They do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So back to the jukebox.
Okay.
Ooh.
Mechanical stuff. So what I found, it's not new news, but Marco, we've talked about art and a number of different things, and what I came across is this. It's an installation in in Korea called the HyperMatrix.
Ooh.
And I don't know if you've heard of it.
No.
He's just very excited.
Yes.
Maybe.
So it's an artist group based out of Seoul, and they put an installation together at some big event. It's been a number of years ago, but it's basically this huge steel structure. It looks like it's 3 walls wide and stadium seating in front of it, so you're kind of in it, or maybe it's flat. Maybe it's all the same level. But anyway, you're kind of inside this room, and it's a pretty big room from the looks of it, and it's a steel structure that has robotics and a bunch of moving things inside it that house, I forget how many, thousands, it doesn't say how many thousands, but thousands of 32 centimeter square cubes made of styrofoam.
Ooh.
And so at its initial state, it's a completely flat white wall, 3 sides. And then to the sound of music, evidently, the wall begins to pixelate and move and create shapes that are 3-dimensional. And so basically the design is matching to the music and the wall is moving to the music. So you're sitting in this room that's kind of moving and pulsing and shifting and swerving and shaping all around you. It's not the digital Van Gogh that we talked about in previous episodes, but a kinetic version of that kind of. And it seems pretty cool. So Marcos, we talked about art quite a bit. I thought this isn't NFTs, this isn't digital art, but it's using technology to create an environment that's audibly and visually stimulating and perhaps even calming, or whatever it is you want to create with the art. So not high tech, but certainly tech and artistic. And yeah, it caught my attention. It looks pretty cool. There's some videos I saw. It was an initial tweet, and then I tracked down the articles, and it's pretty cool stuff. And I can envision lighting. So it's all white. So you kind of get the 3D shadow effects. If you add color to it, perhaps in the future with LEDs, it could be even more exciting. So that's my news. It's my tech. Feel good art.
Did you watch any of the videos of it to see it moving?
I watched. I didn't listen though, to be honest. So
okay.
I didn't. The videos are hard to find for some reason. They all seem to be offline. I don't know if the artists are protecting their things. A lot of behind the scenes stuff, which is pretty cool, and a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a short snippet of it on Twitter, and I didn't listen to the audio on that. There's another one where they're showing they're overlaying it with some images as well. So the images move when the wall moves, but it's pretty cool.
I like it. So I found a photo that's attached to a picture of it. And yeah, I like your idea about it being maybe kind of soothing or calming, because it does seem with this all white, it would, they become sort of 3D images, it looks like, as the foam moves, but I don't think it's ever going to be hyper realistic. It's not going to look like, oh, suddenly it looks just like a 3D dog, because it's all the white. Right. The white foam. But I think you're right. Like, it could be really meditative. And if you've got like binaural beats or something, people could be there with hearing it in the different ears. And it could be this really cool, make you feel very differently and hopefully very calm and happy.
So this is kind of like a live version, almost like a 3D art. That it seems like it turned a virtual reality environment that is actually real
to a kinetic one.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Throw a DJ in there, and pretty cool.
And
okay, yes.
And it's not just visual, right? It's actually everything that they move, like the actual blocks in the wall and everything moves.
They slide in and out.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And is this something that they're building just in Korea, or there is a movement of this happening in other part of the world? So
We're starting the movement today, Marco.
Oh, okay. So
ITSP is bringing it stateside.
Right.
Is the construction side of the business.
This installation is from 2012. We're starting the movement.
Wow.
No, but I guess that's the other point is that's why I mentioned, remember the jukebox, because even now this seems cool, right? It's not high end, fancy, full on digital. There's certainly digital elements to this, but mostly kinetic, and still really cool.
Yeah,
Still really cool. Old can be cool.
that's true. And it's not that old. It's only 9 years old. So it's not that we're not going back.
All right. So I came in without a news. So I do have a few that I can bring to the conversation. There's a short one that I thought that what you were going to talk about, Sean, because it's in Korea, and it's called the virtual city, where
Made out of
Seoul.
styrofoam blocks.
No, this is actually Seoul, the city that you just talked about.
Yeah.
Is the first major city to join the metaverse. So they have this plan where they are offering, the government, it's not a private company, that the government itself is creating a virtual Seoul as a city. I think it's called Seoul, and you can access it with the goggle and everything. You can use it for visiting sightseeing and museum and collections in the city. You can walk through the city, and you can even access like a virtual government building where you can do your paperwork and all that kind of stuff. It's interesting. Yours is the version of a virtual 3D. Well, in the meantime, I mean, in the real 3D, and in the meantime, there is a virtual 2D happening there.
I have a question about that. I could see going to the metaverse with Seoul if you wanted to visit Seoul, but for whatever reasons you were unable to travel there, and it would be incredible to be able to experience it. But when we get into things like, if this is going to be that now, instead of going to the local city hall to renew your driver's license or something, or the DMV, city hall to renew like your dog's license, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need a metaverse for that? Am I just not getting it? Will we feel more comfortable if we're walking in versus doing it just through a web page?
I think there's the good and the bad. So think about this.
Yeah.
Many cities, they're turning a lot of services digital because apart from the pandemic, which probably has been an accelerator for it, there's the fact that you have to go in a place, stay in line, get an appointment, and so forth. By doing it digitally, you just save a lot of time. You don't have to do that. But there are certain things, for example, that maybe you want to have that face-to-face interaction, and you still don't want to go there. Let's say you live in, I don't know, far away. So one of the things that, it's a series of tweets here. It is on Euronews as well. I don't know why, but is a Twitter thread. Bloomberg talk about it. For example, one of the things that he does is the citizen will be able to put on the VR headset to meet city officials for virtual consultation. They will even be able to attend mass events. So a concert or anything about, I don't know, maybe a celebration. Now, why would you want to do that instead of going in person? But maybe there are people that are disabled, far away, not able to do that. And maybe they get to experience in a virtual world meet with real virtual people. So I think there's always the good and the bad, obviously, right?
You said the magic word for me, though, and that's the experience. And do I really need the experience of sitting in traffic, getting to the office and standing in line?
Yeah, it's like telemedicine. Why do I want to spend 4 hours to see the doctor when I can see it from my desk for 15 minutes and that's it? So, yeah.
Yeah, I was doing some research on technology and retail. Maybe I'll bring this news next time. But I mean, for me, when I was looking at all this stuff, it was around what you don't want to do. You want to avoid having to make hard decisions or doing price lookups and waiting in line and standing behind somebody to do all these checkout activities. And you want to either order it online, or if you want to go to the store, you want the experience of the store without all the crap that you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, do I need a metaverse for that?
Yeah, it's interesting because with store, though, the thing that one of the reasons I like going to the store in person, and lately it's basically me and shoppers that are shopping for others most of the time in the store. But I like to be able to pick up the fruit and the vegetables that I'm going to buy because we do a lot of cooking. So most of what we buy is fruit and vegetables. And I like to see that just picking something on a website and saying, send me an apple is different from being able to look at them. Sometimes one kind of apple looks better than another that day. And so I think that that's where I could definitely see the metaverse helping. And it would be actually kind of nice to be able to go there. But when I think about going to renew the license for the car or the dog, the kinds of things that we do at the town hall, I don't think I'd be any happier going and, if I was like virtually in person versus just doing it on a website. So that's where sometimes some of the use cases of the metaverse, I start to get a little bit like, are we, why do we have to make a virtual town hall? Unless I could virtually go and pick up my, when I'm out of town, I have to do absentee ballot. You can go pick it up or they can mail it to you. And if you're late, you got to go pick it up. But the metaverse wouldn't help me with that. We can't transfer physical.
Why can't we send the dogs to do their own registration? That's the question.
I have this dream when it looked like autonomous cars would be here by 2020, way back when we were all a little naive about how hard it was going to be. I had this dream of our car being able to take the dogs to daycare, and then just the door would open, they just hop out, and go in. And then when they were done at daycare, they'd get back send the car down to pick them up, and they would.
They come back all happy with grass stains on their jeans. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, we had a great day at school.
Well, time and place. There are certain things that will be really good to be as a virtual experience, and some others that I agree. You want to go and pick up your fruit, and I don't even know how many times I order online through the pandemic, and then I was like, why did they send me this ripe avocado? And then with Whole Food is easy, you just get the money back. So but you don't have the avocado that you like. So no, I'm with you. I like to pick it myself, but other things, it's definitely useful. But another thing that I'm thinking is, for example, I found this article on the Washington Post about this metaverse, Seoul, and they're gonna kick off, for example, the celebration of the New Year's Eve with a traditional Bosingak bell ringing ceremony, and will be held in live, but also on the platform for any residents who wants to participate virtually. So again, I think that what people are misunderstanding now with the metaverse is that it's not that all of a sudden we just live in the metaverse. It's not one or the other, right? It's like certain things you want to game, you want to be, a Knight Templar, fight the dragons, do that. You want to visit a city. I mean, how cool would that be if you could be live for this celebration, virtual celebration in the metaverse of the New Year's Eve in anywhere in the world, especially if you live in a place where there's nothing going on, for example. So, but you have a choice, right? That's the point. You have a choice.
Marco, I'm curious to hear about your virtual reality stuff, because you're our metaverse lead.
No, I haven't gone that far. I did one session, and like I mentioned the other day, I'm happy that I don't get too sick. So that's kind of cool. I played you know what I did?
Oh.
Kind of weird. So I lived in Florida for 2 years, a year and a half, when I moved to United States. And by law, when you move to Florida, you need to learn how to play golf. I don't know if you heard that.
I had no idea that was a Florida
It is a
law.
law.
Well,
It
I
is a
guess
Good to know.
anybody that lives there play golf, at least where I was. Anyway, so then I moved here and I loved it. I really, really liked it. And then I moved here and I didn't really play much, and so I log into the Oculus, the goggle that I have. So I start looking at games and stuff. A lot of shooters, a lot of first person shooters, and then there's sport.
Were
There's
there any shooters?
I tried the shooters, but it was making me sick because it was too many sudden movement. I don't think I'm that far not getting sick. But I did pick a golf game, and it's pretty freaking sick because it's this virtual landscape that, of course, in the metaverse, you turn around and you don't see walls. It's not one screen. It's all around you. And one of your handset, it becomes the club. And then you do actually have to swing like if you were playing golf. And I was a little worried about hitting, stuff in the office here. So I was double sure that I was.
You go outside?
No, well, that would have been an idea, but I don't know. I would probably get lost too. No, I found a way to do it, and it's pretty cool. I mean, literally, you pick your clubs. You can see the undulation of the terrain. It's not as complicated as the real golf, but the experience, it's very relaxing because you're in this, golf green, and you got lakes and mountains, and you can choose to play different courses, and it was pretty cool. I gotta say, it was really, really cool.
So how's the law going to change for Florida then? Is the law going to say you have to play?
You have to log through it,
or are they going to make you pay for a metaverse version
through a server in Florida? The server has to be in Florida.
There you go. I wonder if in the future that we're going to have metaverse or VR rooms. Because to your point, I think that's where some of the problems of people have been like breaking things in their house and hitting each other by accident. Just they're on accident. They're flailing their arms and somebody goes by. And we used to. It was for big fancy houses. The big thing was a movie. A cinema room.
Oh yeah.
But now everybody streams, so I think that they're falling out of favor. So we just maybe rip out the seats in the cinema room and make it the VR room.
Well, I can totally see a business opportunity here. And do you remember the old, the internet cafe where you could go and rent an internet desktop? For a while, if you didn't have your own. Yeah. I think that's definitely a good business plan where you can just go, you rent a room and you go. Maybe you play with your friend, kind of like a laser tag war. You go play that, but you're actually in safe room, maybe isolated with foamsy, and and you play. I can see that.
Yeah.
I think
are you wearing a headset as well, or are you listening to speakers in the room where you can actually feel the sound as well?
The sounds come from the headset.
Yeah.
So when you put your headset on, there is the speaker right at your ear, so you are quite immersed into it.
I like the idea of that, because so the wealthy people that could have the cinema rooms, they could have this all piped into their house. But when we create our meta world where people can go and rent a metaverse room you could also have things like blowers, so that if you wanted to be someplace where it's windy, it would feel windy. You could pipe in scents,
right?
Right?
Like when you go, that's great. It's like smell.
Smells, scents, yeah.
It's kind of like when you go to Disneyland
the dairy farm?
Universal. Yeah.
Visit the dairy farm.
That would be great.
The ground is smushy.
I think I'll mute the smell there.
So cow cuddling it's becoming very popular, Sean. Cow cuddling is a real thing. Yeah, it is. So you can virtually cow cuddle. Yeah.
Let me add to that. There are some applications that they're made to meditate. So you put your goggle on, you relax. The whole environment is relaxing. There is the music. There is the voice to tell you what to do. And so I can totally see this experience to be the next rich person media room will be the metaverse room, where you have this wind to pick up this little breeze and the sound of the ocean. Maybe you even get some sprinkle of water on your face.
Nice. Yeah.
Or you could just drive down to Santa Monica and do that on the beach if you leave there.
But it does really create, because that's what they do at like Universal and Disney in some of those rides or stuff. Like I was in one where it was supposed to be mice were running by your feet, and they had little bits, puffs of air and little strings or something sort of wiggled on your feet, and
spiders on your neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you experience it.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna close with. I mean, we're eating the hour. So, Sean, I think you have it too. The AirPod, the headset, right? The portable one that has the immersive sound now. Whatever it's called, I forget the name that Apple gave to it. Actually, it's a Dolby solution, but it has a spatial. So I have noticed that when I'm listening to certain Audible that are a little bit more recent, if I turn my head, or if they're walking, and it's one of those, dramatized Audible, you really feel the sound going around your head, like coming from different direction. You were saying one time that you can do video games or sharing the experience with this. I don't remember what was the name of the company. And it freaked me out when he did it, because I walk with that thing now at night, with the dogs in the neighborhood, and I was listening to this Audible, and I was like, somebody's following me right now. Just like, what the fuck? It felt so real because I didn't expect it. I'm like, this voice is coming from behind me, that noise. So imagine that, but with the visual of it, and then you add the physical effect, and then you really don't want to go out anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
Well, I'll be inside all the time.
No, I think it'd be a little bit of this and a little bit of that. That's my hope. I think we need to get the best of the all world, and I don't know, be conscious about it, right?
All I know is I want the consumer version of the foam wall.
Okay.
I want an installation here on my wall.
I can tell you one thing. That's a lot more expensive than a pair of virtual goggles. That thing, it's art, right? I mean, that's the point. It's art. So
it's a challenge for us, Marco.
There is no price tag on that. There's no price tag on that.
Exactly.
And talking about price tag, there is no price tag for how much fun I always have hanging out with you guys. And priceless.
Yeah.
And this was
Zero
fun.
Priceless.
So how much do I get paid for being here?
Something like that.
Same as all of us. It's very equal.
I'm gonna do the sales pitch. If somebody wants to sponsor us, please join Blue Lava. Our friends at Blue Lava. You hear
there you go.
The outro and intro. It's great company. We love them, and we want to say the same thing about your company. So sponsor us, please. Make it worth it for us.
Well, regardless of that, hopefully folks do. But always great to have these conversations.
And
we're going to do it anyway.
Week, right?
Oh, yeah, we do. A great...
Should we tease our guest?
Yes, please do that. He's a great friend of yours.
Faux show. Do that.
Faux show. Yeah, we got Adam Shostak, who is literally the guy who wrote the book on threat modeling. He's going to come, and he's hilarious.
He literally wrote the book.
He did.
And he is funny, he's nice, and I'm very, very excited to have it on. So if you know Adam, you don't want to miss the next one. If you don't know Adam, you don't want to miss the next one.
You
either.
want to meet Adam.
Yeah. Meet Adam.
Or Adam's avatar. Anyway.
That's right. Adam's disembodied voice.
See,
And
we talk a lot of virtual stuff, but then we're back in the radio. So there you go. All that technology, and we're here.
Yep. And we'll be here next week, same time, same channels, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Pick your favorite. You can engage with us there too. Send us questions, funny faces, whatever you want. We definitely follow what's going on there. So thanks everybody for joining today. And I'm going to take us out.
Peace.
See you next time. Peace.
Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Through the TechVine podcast. If you learned something new and this podcast made you think, then share itspmagazine.com with your friends, family, and colleagues. If you represent a company and wish to associate your brand with our conversations, sponsor one or more of our podcast channels. We hope you will come back for more stories and follow us on our journey. You can always find us at the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society.